Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome back to my humble workshop. As you might remember, the first part we are done with, and we are now going for the first belly. Now, I have already prepared the strings here on the inside. I'll prepare one with you so you know the nooks and crannies about that, but generally we are trying to get four strands, 2 at the length of 330 centimeters, 1 at the length of 250 centimeters, and 1 at the length of 200 centimeters. So, because I have now messed them up, so let's measure them. One is untied. Yeah, this is the smallest one. And now I have these two over here. Okay, this is the second. And this is the longest with this one. So, what are we going to do to paracord kind of like bite into each other? We're gonna create this simple, I think it's called half hitch. We're gonna make this at the middle of a rope. So you take it, find the precise middle, see? And at the middle of a rope you're gonna create a half hitch. So, as you can see, I have already done this with my 3 other ropes. Now I will do it with the longest one. I'll take the both ends, right, and I will go along the thread to find the middle. I've left the slack, like I didn't cut exactly 330 centimeters, I got like 352. So I'm not really concerned if my both ends will be like this, right? This is okay. So I just got the end. I will cross them in the middle, turn them towards me, push it in, and just got to make the half hitch and adjust the knot to be in the middle, and we have our last half hitch. Now check how precise. See, not perfect, but that's fine. In the end with the whip, it does not really matter if you are exactly precise or if you are like 1 centimeter up or down. The movement is what matters, not the precisely crafted whip. So I have my 4 strands middled and ready to go. I have my prepared core. Get that into the clamp. What's important is that when you are doing this, you do not want to, because you will be moving these strings there and back and around and they'll get mixed up. Just try to make some room around you. So I will take the longest strands, I will find the middle half hitch points, I'll put them behind with the indicator knots. Behind, left side to the core, and right side above. I'll maintain the indicator knots behind, and I will create a little space. I'll take my other 2 strings and I will just easily, as I'm holding this, I will take their ends, both ends, and put them through this loop. So in the end I will have 2 4 on one side and these 2 represent the other 2 that will be on the left side. So 4 by 4 on each side. And now because they have those indicators in the middle, I can easily drag these 2 ropes on the left up until the point I'll find, see the first indicator, I'll leave it there, and the second indicator. So I have both the ropes. I just like to organize things, so this is the longer one and this is the shortest one. As you can see, I have 4 on one side and 4 on the other. And now I'll begin simple. I'll put those 2 behind. These can remain on the top, and I'll just begin plaiting the simple over 2, under 2, and then works as follows. You take the furthest string that you have, put it behind. Meanwhile, you are holding these other 2 with your other fingers, but you do not want to mess up the order of the strings, because I at least had problem with that. And I'm going under 2, over 2. That means those strings on the other side, I will separate them so I can see the order of them. And this rope, as I'm taking it from the right side, I take them under 2, the first 2, over 2, the last 2. And I just take it to the other side, and I need to drag it entirely to the right. So I always end up with a 4 on one and 4 on the other. I did the first on the right, so I need to follow with the other side. Again, under 2, over 2. So under first 2, over second 2. So that was the left side and the right side. Under 2, over 2. And you will be doing this quite a lot until you ran out of strings or the length of the cord. But we want to hitch and tighten this over the end of the steel so we can make like the beginning of the entire whip. So I will just plait. If you forget like where you are, what was your last string, you can look at the bottom. If the string you are holding on the top, the last one, ends on the right side, that means that the next strand will be taken from the left. Under 2, over 2, because it will create the opposite direction plait. See, now this one ends on the left. That means the next string I will be taking is from the right. And we will be doing this. Once you get a hang of it, it's really fast. But I just want to create few more passes so we can tighten the end up. And you do not want to create too many passes before you will begin the tightening step. So this, I'm fine with this length. I will take this entire thing, it's not tightened up. I will push it past the end of the steel, as you can see, just about here. And I will begin tightening all the ropes consecutively as they are in my hands, because the furthest ropes will tighten the ropes back, all the way back up. And as you can see, as I'm tightening it, it moves the ropes in here, but they are not able to move any further because there are these indicator knots which are helping me, them biting to each other and therefore not moving a bit. So I think I'm happy with this tightening, and I can continue with regular plaiting. So as you can see, under 2, over 2, and from the right, under 2, over 2, and from the left, under 2, over 2. Make sure you are kind of keeping in mind that these ropes needs to wrap up the steel. So when you are pushing it behind, you want to gently pull on it and then kind of a copy with it the steel to the back, exit under 2, over 2, and then over it to the other side. If you're wondering why your whip looks all crooked up and those ropes are kind of a nut hugging the steel but fighting with it, that means you have been not really paying attention to how you are. See, I always made a mistake. This rope goes to my left and I took the rope from the left, and as I'm approaching these under 2 over 2, I see there is a huge gap in here. And I immediately stopped, realized that my last rope went to the left. That means I need to take the rope from the right. And as you can see, these are much more tightened up than the other ones. Drag it to the other side. And now my last is on the right, so I take the one from the left. See, I've made several hitches. Now I will be tightening it again. And what's the most beautiful about this, when you are tightening it, you see as the rope moves and it pulls even the bit part on the top. And if you wonder how to keep that pressure, every time I make that move, I'm holding the strings to keep my order, but I'm pushing down with my thumb on that latest strand as I'm holding it, so this will not move and I can find the next rope I'm looking for and create again my under 2 over 2 pattern. I have been plaiting for a little while, and I want to show you a bit of a trick. When you are putting that plaited cord on the core into the clamp, at first I was afraid that I'm pushing it too much, that I'm trying to tighten it so it does not move at all. And as I was putting it inside, I thought that as I'm like squishing it, that it will end up in the end looking differently. Not at all. We will be rolling it on the asphalt, we will be waxing it. It will completely disappear. So tighten it as much as you want. I would say not with the machine strength because you might crack something inside. But just tighten it with your hands as firm as you please, because it won't make a difference in the end. Do not fear putting it in the clamp firmly. It won't damage a thing. I have still 4 on the left, 4 on the right. It's doing the same procedure as I ended on the right. So that means I need to take from the left. I go down, underneath, under 2, over 2, take it out, and continue with the pattern. Now, let's say you need to take a bathroom break, or you're a hungry one to eat or something. How do you leave this unattended? Because it will lose pressure. You need to keep tightening it. And if I will tighten every little last rope here, they will move a bit if I'm not like trying to keep them under pressure at all times. How do you handle for it to not move? So you take the last rope and just take it underneath just directly and go with this other one. You have to go with it and just, you know, go over, take it through it and just tighten that stuff. And now we can go wherever, and when you return you see that this is my this is my rope. You just pull it, take it from underneath, and you establish your base perimeter. 4 on the left, 4 on the right. The last was going to the right, so I take the next one from the left. And you continue with the stuff. Under 2, over 2. Now, as we will be going, because we are inevitably reaching the BBs. They are hidden in the core over here, right? We will be going to this. And the rope will remain for something like 8 centimeters after the BBs will end. And there it is, where I will drop my first strand, and we won't be doing anything like cutting it so it's visible and then burning so everyone will be able to see it on the top of the whip, or after careful examination. We won't be doing anything like that because all the ropes are already burned, but that does not concern us. We will take that rope and we will make it disappear in the core. Yeah, so now I'm pretty far away. I will do a little bit of a tightening. Make sure when you are tightening, you take the rope and you tighten it along the plating. Take that string and tighten it, pull it with the direction of the whip. So now I want to keep this entire thing. I will hold the last rope that's going to the left, move this up in the clamp, tighten it so it holds, because before I was trying to tighten it just so, and after I tightened that, it was moving inside. Every time I made a little bit of a stronger pull, the entire thing moved. So that's why I was concerned with my very strong tightening of the clamp to not damage the plating. But it is not visible at all on the finished product. Okay, now, as I have reached the part when the spring steel ends and BBs begin. Why did I stop here is that we need to focus now, because that point is the most used on the entire whip. That's the point when the whip is making that curve, the first curve from the firm spring steel. And we want that point to be firm and springy, so you want to put there the extra pressure. And with the weave, we've been doing under 2 over 2. Now we will be doing under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1. That's the really diamond tough knot, is the most slowest one, but by the physics it's the most strongest one. So I have stopped around this part from the BBs, and I will start with the over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1, under 1, over 1 plaiting type right now. So we have been weaving under 2 over 2. You can see it if I'll pull the right side up. This string is going over these two. That means that last pattern was under 2 over 2. Now I will take it. I see that this side ends on the right. I will take the left string, but instead of going under 2 over 2, I will go under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1. So I will create like these scissors and try to take this string under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1. And again, on the right side, take it under this, over this, under this, over this. So you have to be really careful not to mess this up, because many times when I was doing this for the very first time, before my real whip, the big whip, I have under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1. See, I even have to focus still to not mess this up. But I'm not any sort of expert whip maker, I'm just a hobbyist. And you are trying to maintain this pattern to be flowing down. Again, take 1, under 1 over 1, under 1 over 1. And try to maintain your 4 strings on the right and 4 strings on the left. Maintain their position So you have easy day and happy day. Under, over, under, over. Now I can see we have passed this side. I will tighten everything up and I will go back into under 2 over 2 pattern because I have done this as I want it. So a little bit again stretch them out to see where they are, taking this one under 2 over 2, bam. Again on the right side, under 2 over 2. If you have taken wrong side with the weaving, you will see strange shapes appearing on your whip or strange separations. Just go back and fix that. We are not really trying to rush anything here. We are not doing this because we can do 50 whips under 1 hour. No, 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 no. We want to do it correctly, nicely, and to be enjoyable afterwards once we want to play with it. So see, under 2 over 2, I made that transition quite nicely. And now I'm plaiting over just the BBs. You might experience the thing that the sinew will loosen up as you are plaiting this cord over the BBs. The sinew holding the thing before will loosen up and kind of untying itself. That's okay, because I'm putting more stress with this rope on that thing than I was before with the sinew. That means I'm doing good because I want to increase that pressure, because everything whip is about tightness and not about looseness, if you know what I'm saying. So now I will just hold it up, release the clamp, move it a bit. Yeah, I'm standing on it. Yeah, tighten it. And we'll continue. I will meet you when I will be dropping the first string, because now I'll be continuing with this under 2 over 2 single until the path when I will be dropping my first string. So I'm going to take you through the steps how to finish it. Yes, we were going under 2 over 2 on the left and the right side. And we will go from the 4 on the right and 4 on the left. We will drop 1 on the right, so we have 3 and 4. And here we will be going under 2 over 1. Then we will drop the strand on the left side, so we'll have 3 and 3. And again, we will go with the last one under 2 over 1, under these 2 over 1. Then we will drop 1. In this scenario, we are going under 2 over 1, and here we are going under 1 over 1, and we'll go drop to 2 by 2. At this point, we will weave for a little while, and then we will end with the 4 hanging out. We will tape them with the hockey tape. I won't be showing you every plait I'm doing. I will just show you the measurements from the end of my core, like how far am I dropping every strand, and then I will show you what I'm doing at the end, and then we will plait a hockey tape around that space where the spring still is ending and the BBs are beginning. we will add a little bit of a hockey tape over that, because we will be tightening that space with a very thin rope. I have chosen, you know, we have 4 on the right and 4 on the left strings, and now I really want to drop some cord into the middle. Just don't mind this, but I will be plaiting over it anyways, so it won't be that of a problem. I'll just cut it away so it is not disturbing us. Now I have 4 on the right and 4 on the left, and it's time to drop a strand because I am coming to the end of my core. And if I'm looking at my notes, I see that at the 50.8 centimeters in my last build, I left the part of BBs, the core. So if I'll take a measurement of the current, we have 50.52. It's not that different from the last time. I have around 50 centimeters again. The last time I took 6 centimeters to drop, to replace this part and make 6 centimeters out of the 1 cords that I have. So I'm really looking, and I didn't understand the first time, but you want to keep your strands, and if you are going, as Nick said, I made myself a short strand over here. See, I'm ending on the left side, and this cross I want to keep, but the second string, the immediate second string, is this one. So I'll just take it, tighten that, and string it to the, as Nick said, to the middle stage. So now it is in the middle, and I have on the right just 3. And I'm going again, ending on the left. So I'm taking the one from the right, and he's going under 2 over 2, coming to the right, and again tightening. On the left, taking one again, and this time I'm going under 2 over 1. These methods I don't quite own because I'm still kind of following, and I cannot tell you why this is happening, but it kind of in the end will look very good. So just continue. Under 2 over 2. See, this is very strong one, a very long one, sorry, this is very long one. I'm keeping that one guy in the middle. Going with the others around. On the right side, it's, see, I'm getting confused. No, I'm not. There's 3, I'm taking just 1. Under 2 over 1, and to the right. Yeah, that sinew is really making my life harder right now. Now I will tighten it a bit. It's really amazing if you can have your tape measure somewhere along the thing you're plaiting, is at least you won't forget when to drop a strand. But in the end, it's not that important. When I was crafting my first whip, I almost forgot to drop a strand. I was plaiting, it was really enjoyable. And in the end, the whip ended up really good. So it's not really to bother. So as you can see, I have come to the point of me, it's about 56 centimeters. Now, you want to be dropping short strands. As you can see, I want to drop this one, but it's far up. And before, when I was making my very first whip, it was a snake whip, I would just cut this guy over here and burn it away, but it will be visible on the plating. So now, I will continue plaiting, because if it is in the end, make 2-3 crosses, and this will end up in the here, and it can replace this core, which is now my new core. So I will just continue plating so I can get this guy to the front. See, now he's the leading knot. Now I will make one more to tighten him. I still cannot take him, he's the second one. But now I will take this guy, move it over here, and now, if I am counting correctly, I want to drop this strand, and this is the, yeah, fairly the shortest of them all. Yeah, definitely shortest. Okay, so I will take him, give him a nice big pull because he's going to be in the middle, tighten all the others as well. Oh, I'm not showing with my light over here, sorry. Okay, so again, I wanted this strand to be dropped, but it was up here. It was the next guy to come working. So I took him, I made with him first cross, that means he was the leading one. Then I took another one to stitch him, and then I took another one from the side again. So I make a new leading one, and that means that the one I wanted is now exactly where I want it. So this is the leading, and the second one behind him, that's this guy. I'm going to pull on him, and make him my new primary core. So now we do not want to mess anything up. I will put him on the side, meanwhile keeping pressure on all the others. Put them to the side so they are not easily disturbable, and I will cut this guy. I will cut him like here. I will make an additional measure, so that's roughly 0.58.5 centimeters. That's good, so I have 50.5. Now, to have some core, this is my new core, right? Remember that? I'm gonna slide him to the center stage, as Nick says, and I have a new core. Now I have 3 by 3, and nothing changed, but this time I am also on the left, under 2 over 1, and from the right, under 2 over 1, and the under 2 over 1, under 2 over 1, and there needs to be something to be plating over. When I was first making my snake whip, I think I was doing this plating over nothing, and that's really hard. And I was, because I didn't have a clamp, so I had to somehow make this pressures this clamp is doing for me now. Okay, I will loosen it because we want to move. Here is the viewable area. Release, move up. Very nice. Tightened. Very nice. Good. And I will be proceeding further. See, if I will pull this too much, he came into the middle somewhere around here. If I will pull too much, he might slip here and create something I do not want. Don't be pulling on this that much. If you just made a transition, wait a few centimeters. Now, if I look at my notes, I should be dropping next one at the 62 centimeters. So if I'll straighten it, that's about here on the wood. I could be making marks. Let's have a bit of a coffee and continue with this guy. Keep on guys, you are doing great. If you have made this far in the video, drop a like, because I don't know how, but we've managed to hit 1.5 thousand views on the first me explaining how Paracord Bullwhip even works and why I enjoyed making it, and I am so shocked by the reach of that video. It's really something, and I haven't even thought about it. I will be making more whip making stuff on this channel, but I do not want to really limit myself just on the Paracord things. I'll be making different crafts from Paracord because it's durable material, it's very easy to handle, it's not making much of a bruises on your hands if you are not really stressing, and you can craft amazing things with it. And even now, when we have an option to wax it, you can really tighten things around and make Paracord behave like an actual leather. Make it heavier. Right, this is cordless Paracord. If you haven't noticed, this is coreless Paracord. That's why it's so thin and much easier to be braiding with it. $64, 63.8. I'll draw 64 just for easier remembering. Okay, so I again want to drop something short. I do not want to waste much of a Paracord, but we also see I want to take this guy, but he's on the main cross up there. That means I will take this guy, make this guy a new leading roll, and this will be the second guy that I can drop, because this will make, with this leading currently, this will make a new primary knot. So I will take him. Always be sure that you are holding your right and left side, because you will be really sorry, because I haven't found a way. If I will screw this up and I will mix and match those cords from left to right, I haven't found yet the simple way how to get myself back on the correct road. It's always a headache to find those which are on the right and those which are on the left. I want to take this guy, so I'll take him. Make a bit of a pull, but not that harsh, and I want to cut the one that's in the middle. Allow me to make a quick snip, snip, very nice. Snippy snappy. This guy is my new leading roll, and I have 2 on the right and 3 on the left, and that's why we are doing now under 1 over 1 on the right, and on the left we are doing under 2 over 1. You really want to make these transitions as pretty as possible. Look at the knot, and if it makes sense, go with it. Do not push something, do not use brute force. It's never a good idea. Drop at 66, I'm at the 68. I should have dropped at 64. I will drop this over here. So this is my second stage body. You know what? Let's go a bit back. If you are going back, you need to be careful about maintaining the proportions on the left and the right. Let's see, I want this guy to be the one that I will be dropping, so I will go a little bit back. Okay. Proportionate moving backwards. Very nice. Okay, see, I have dropped here a string because he's he's biting into the core. This guy will be dropping into the middle, so I need to cut away this body. Don't worry, I will clean that up afterwards. And now, how far is that? 67 and a half. Now I want this guy to be in the middle, so let's tighten either guys. I will move it up a bit on the stage so we can clearly see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to be this guy, my new center body. Hold this with your fingers, drag it a bit and put it to the middle. If you will pull too hard, this will break apart, so just tighten, pull on it, but gently. And now I have just two. Ending on the left means from the right, under one, over one. And this is kind of the most easiest one. Okay, I've made a few turns on my last one. Do not confuse. Good. Everything is good. Gently tighten on this because I have made several turns. I can finally tighten this more firmly. And okay, I have 2 and a 2. This is the end of first belly. Now I will be taking a measure, 71.5 centimeters. 71.5 centimeters is up till this point. Now I will cut this string away and I will these 4 pull just them together and tape them with a hockey tape. And as we are trying to maintain a stable release of pressure from the handle to the end of the whip, right? So I do not want this sudden stop over here, so I will plait this 4 a little bit further over nothing. Okay, I have plaited over nothing for a while over here, and now I will put these to the side so I won't lose tension. Okay, very nice. Yes, so it is more in the action. Good, so I'm ending with 2 on the right and 2 on the left side. 76 centimeters, easier. Take your hockey tape, just finding the spot, and just take it together. Oh, hope I didn't ruin this now by doing this very unprofessionally. Good, very fine. I will just tighten, not much of the tape, just over here. And this is our slack. It's a bit too much, as you can see, but I was really trying to cut more, so you have this. This is better if you have the slack than if you would end with ropes over here and you will be, do I have enough? Do I have enough? Oh, okay, I got it. So this is easier. And just cut it away. So this is the end of my whip. Now, when I will be plaiting the second belly, if I will come to this place, I will just slide this off and continue plaiting with the other belly. The point is that if I will leave this here as this stiff part that's differently stiff than the others, so I do not want to ruin things by leaving this here. So I will just slide this away. It's easier that way. And now we want to make that part when the BBs end more stiff. So I will take this off. This is our first belly. And see, this part really falls really quick. So when the BBs end, when there is this very complicated 1x1 knot over here, that's the tight spot, I will use that hockey tape up until this point, and I'll make several passes with a very nice rope that I got. It's much thinner than the one I used before on the previous belly and the previous whip, and this will be much easier to see. That's why I've chosen orange, and it's really pretty orange. I just like orange. What can I say? This is the part when it kind of ends with the spring steel and begins with the BBs. You can also see here my clumsy transition from under 2 over 2 to under 1 over 1 under 1 over 1. So I will tape from this place over like let's say 6 inches, so let's make it, yeah, that's kind of right. I will do the same. That's for me roughly 16 centimeters. So for 16 centimeters, I'm going to wrap with the hockey tape. So about here. And that's about it. From here to here, roughly 6 inches, so 16 centimeters. Yeah, a bit more, doesn't matter. Now I will be doing with this transitions from here to here. I'll be going from here, here, back, a little bit further, back to the end and back. Point is that I won't be cutting this, I will be using just one length, but because I will be going up in here and going through this part roughly 6 times, means this will be most stiff and we'll be losing as we are going further. And that's exactly what we want to get. I have moved this bit away from the wood, so I won't be measuring this a little bit harder because I cannot use this reference, but I would be needing doing this. That's why I need a little bit of a space around that. So orange, I think it's called multivitamin color, can be. All right, I will go around, create a little, this is the thing I learned from Nick. So just come up here, the tension's gonna keep that in place, and I'm going. And I could be using artificial sinew, but the sinew will be trying to slide over and over. So I'm making maybe big spaces between, but I will be doing kind of a crisscross. So up and down. Yeah, this is very limited space. Up. Yeah, put that guy over there. Up. And down. Up. And down. And as I will be going now up, I will try to fill in those spaces. Why is that? Well, we are trying to see inside of that space. We are trying to make this as stiff as possible, and only by finding those weak spots in the entire craft, you can perfect your craft. They're going down again, filling that space. Okay, now I'm getting to the point where the braiding ends. So I will begin again the thing with one down and back up. Good. I'm coming to an end. Okay. One down. Oh, losing it. Good. One up. And I will be taping over. Good. And now, see, this is, wow, this is much more stronger. Then it's losing strength as it's going on. Now we will cut this away. I want to tighten this. The best thing will be to put it through several of these loops. And that's why we will use a sinew. Simple yet effective loop. I will loosen a bit the loop over here so it is accessible. Good. And I will make like a 6 or 5, that doesn't matter, just for the good measurement passes. And in the end, I will just cut the cord, put it through the loop, and drag on that sinew. And I will just get my string on the other end. It will be tightened with this thing I've done right now. So I have it here. I will hold it. If you have it not waxed, you should hold it because it will start lose the tension. And I'll just put it through this loop, right? Put it through it, and then hold on to this sinew and drag. And this is now through these several loops, and it's safe. You know what? I will cut it here so it won't have any funny ideas of slipping through. You want me to show you how am I rolling it, right? Yeah, I thought so. So as you can see, the whip is underneath this, and I will be basically just, don't worry it flapping all around, just roll it. The point is that it is much more round now. Even if the snow not visible to you with your naked eye, it's much more rounded up. Most importantly, roll it, because you will see the difference if you won't roll it. At least I've heard that. I haven't tried it. I'm always rolling my whips, so roll them. Okay, everybody, we have finished our first belly and it looks like this. Can you remember? I don't even know where the BBs end. When I took it up and I first look at it, it broke around here. As you can see, the BBs end kinda around this part. We managed to plait our first belly. I have made kinda mistake at the end. But it's good because we can adapt to it on our second belly. Because I had to make several more slacks over here. I cut it at one point. I know I was hasty. I have big reserve over here, so I can make these ends there, and I will accommodate for that. But we have our first belly. We have strengthened it with this very small cord, and it's not even making a big of a bump. The one I was using before made like this bump around it, so this is better. See, it has to have this springy thing, so it's good. It will be heavy on the end. It's very good. It's getting very good. We have weaved it, did this strengthening, rolled it. So that's the finished first part. Second part would be almost identical, but with more cords. We will apply it at the end, and we will plait it a bit further than it is now. It will be further. So that will be our second belly, and then will come the overlay. So this is our finished product, and we will continue braiding the second belly in the next video. So I really enjoyed your time with me today. I will be moving with the next video to my porch. We'll make a bit more cozy lighting. So I will see you in the next video, and in the meantime, stay creative. But I really messed this part up. I should have left more slack in it. And I cut it away. This was supposed to be like this, then that. We'll have to accommodate to that. But failure means progression, and that you will remember to not make this mistake again.